someone in the chat can let me know that the chat is working. I've been having problems with the live chat. I'm having to start streams, make sure it's working before I can actually get into the live Q&As. So if someone is watching live, can you please get in the chat? Just leave a hi or a message just so I can see that the live chat is actually working, because it's been up and down on YouTube recently. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know whether that's a problem my end or a problem with YouTube. So if you guys can let me know that the chat is working, then we can get into this live Q&A fully. These mental health live Q&As every Wednesday, every Sunday evening. I do a live slightly earlier today because I'll be watching the darts, but I am here for the live Q&A to talk about mental health, trauma, recovery, and anything else you guys might want to talk about. So please do get your questions in. Of course, that's what I'm here for. Mental health is a subject that's close to my heart. I've been diagnosed with complex PTSD, clinical depression, ADHD, and an anxiety disorder. I've lived with those four mental health disorders the last 4 years now, and I can honestly tell you that complex PTSD is emotionally taxing, is mentally taxing, and complex PTSD is the worst thing I've ever had to experience in my life. So these last 4 years have been tough, being diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, but I am, and that's my challenges, and that's what I have to deal with. So I need to understand that complex PTSD is now a part of my life. So that's my diagnosis, and I really hope I can learn to live alongside that, mental illness. Let's just get in a more comfortable position. The live chat is on my end. It's seeing all messages. So yeah, my diagnosis is complex PTSD, and it's something that I'm learning to live alongside. Obviously, I'm based in the UK, so the waiting lists for treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder or complex post-traumatic stress disorder are very big. They're very long, but as long as I'm on the list, I know at some point they're going to help me. I know at some point they are going to give me the treatment that I need to, learn to live alongside the complex PTSD, because suffering with nightmares and flashbacks every single night of multiple different things, of multiple different traumas, does leave you emotionally and mentally exhausted, and it's a battle every single day to function. And of course, I'm on medication. I'm in counselling and therapy, which I'm paying for myself, because I'm on the waiting list for very specific trauma treatment and very specific ADHD treatment. And that waiting list will hopefully come down very quickly, and I hope to get the two treatments very soon. But I have been prescribed medication, and I have been in counselling for the last 4 years. So I was diagnosed with complex PTSD, clinical depression, ADHD, and an anxiety disorder. So living with all of those mental illnesses can be quite challenging, and it's always interesting to listen to and speak to and learn more about my complex PTSD. I've had it for 4 years now, and I've been battling those nightmares and those flashbacks for the last 4 years. If anyone is watching, please can you put a message in the live chat to let me know the live chat is working, because I've had to restart this live 3 or 4 times because the live chat hasn't been working. So if someone is in the chat, please do just leave a message saying hi, hello, whatever, just so I can see that the chat is actually working, because I've been trying to 3 or 4 times to get this stream going, but I've had to stop and restart because the live chat has not been working. So please do, if when I do get live viewers, please do get in the chat. Let me know if the chat is actually working. It's been up and down with this live chat on YouTube for quite a while now. But let's see what happens with that as the stream progresses. Let's get back to talking about, the diagnosis. So, living with CPTSD, complex PTSD, and the depression, and the nightmares and the flashbacks happen every night, but they're about different things that have happened in my life. Mainly, the main one at the moment is me reliving the suicide attempts. Twice I tried to end my life in 2022, and the nightmares and flashbacks, the most prominent ones at the moment, are those ones. But there are others, nightmares and flashbacks, that I have about certain things, which I'm trying to deal with in therapy and in counselling, whilst I await the trauma-specific treatment and the very specific treatment for ADHD. But if someone can put a message in the chat, if anyone's watching, to let me know it's working, that would be great, because I've been having issues with this live chat all afternoon, trying to go live, and it doesn't work. I don't know what is wrong. So if someone is watching, please let me know if the live chat is actually working or not. Of course, mental health, we all have mental health. Sometimes some people cope with it better than others. But it's a conversation that everyone needs to have. It's a conversation we all need to have. Is the live chat working? If there's anyone watching, can you please try and put a message in the chat so I can make sure the live chat is working, so I can interact with you guys, so we can have a live Q&A. It doesn't seem to be working again, because I can see that there's only one person watching, but there's no messages coming up. So if someone can try a message for me, please, to make sure it works. If anyone's in the live chat, please do put a message, because I've been having issues with this live chat all afternoon trying to go live. Rough Outdoors said hi. Thank God for that. Thank you, Rough Outdoors. Really appreciate it. I can actually see your message. So I'm assuming the live chat is up and running for this live mental health Q&A. So hopefully it's working. TK858 says Jesus loves you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I love Jesus too. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your message, and thank you for being a part of the live. This is a live Q&A where we talk about mental health, recovery, depression, anxiety, and whatever you guys want to talk about. At the start of the live, I was talking about my diagnosis. If some of you are new to the channel and you're stumbling across this live, I have been diagnosed for the last 4 years with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, clinical depression, ADHD, and an anxiety disorder. So those are my battles. Sarah Hadfield says hello. Good afternoon, Sarah, or good evening, in fact. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for your comment. Welcome to this live Q&A where we talk about mental health and recovery. Complex PTSD for me is a very challenging, a very taxing and challenging disorder to have, but I am through therapy and through medication, I am learning to live alongside that whilst I'm waiting for the very specific treatment, because the waiting lists in the UK for mental health support are really long. So I've had to go private, fund that myself, until I get the treatment on the NHS that I've been waiting for. But I'm also here to talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. If there's anything that you want to get off your chest, if there's anything you want to ask me about my diagnosis, about my mental health disorder, or there's just something that you've been wanting to talk to someone about, that's what I'm here for today. That's what these live Q&As are for. And I really appreciate anyone who leaves a comment or gets in, interacts in the live chat. But this is a live Q&A. I host these live mental health Q&As every Wednesday evening, every Sunday evening. Slightly earlier today because I'll be watching the dads this evening. But I am live and I'm here for another live mental health Q&A. So please do get your questions in, guys. Happy to answer those questions. Always happy to answer questions. That's what I go live for, to interact with you good people on YouTube. And obviously try and raise awareness of mental health, and of course try to grow the channel through live content, as well as obviously posting pre-recorded content as well. I do that obviously. I upload shorts, I upload long form videos, and I go live twice a week for these live Q&As, because I enjoy talking about mental health, and I enjoy sharing my story, and I want to hear from you guys, and hear about your story and your challenges. If you're, I've told you my diagnosis. What is it that you've been diagnosed with, if anything, when it comes to mental health? I have good days and bad days, and extremely bad days, because of the complex PTSD. It really has a lasting effect on you when you're reliving many different traumas through nightmares and flashbacks. So, I'm not a counsellor, I'm not a therapist, so I can't speak on it from an educational standpoint. I can only speak from my own personal experience and what I have to go through in order to cope with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and that takes a lot of self-care. Therapy and medication does help, and I've just got to hang in there until I get to the top of the list for treatment. So, but it's not just me that's waiting for help. There's so many people out there suffering in silence, who feel like that they're on their own, who are not talking about mental health because they are in fear of the stigma, or they fear the discrimination, and unfortunately mental illness is invisible, and sometimes a lot of people forget that. A lot of people think, because they can't see you in distress, they can't see you in turmoil, that you're not suffering. Someone could be suffering with poor mental health, but have a big smile on their face walking down the street. But you never know what's going on in their mind and inside, and you never know what's going on behind closed doors. So mental illness, yes, it is invisible, but it's very real, and it's very impactful. So, please be mindful of that when you're out and about and you're trying to go about your day. Try and help people, try and say hello to people, ask them if they're okay, just little things like that. It can really help someone who is suffering in silence with their mental health, if someone just, gives them a friendly hello, or, a good morning or good evening, or whatever it may be. Someone who's suffering in silence would appreciate that. And at some point in our lives, we will all experience, and I have experienced trauma, but at some point in your lives, you will experience those things: grief, loss, trauma, and some of you might get through that without developing a mental health disorder. Some of you might not, but I guess everyone's recovery journey is unique to them, because it affects people in different ways. My mental health affects me in a very specific way, and I'm sure if you guys have a different type of disorder, that's going to affect you differently. But I think one thing we can all agree on is that mental health needs more conversations. Mental health needs more light shining on it. It's a conversation we all need to have every single day, whether that be with a family, friend, work colleague, whoever, counsellor, therapist, life coach. You need to be having these conversations. You need to be letting people know how you're feeling. You need to be trying to process what's going on in your mind through verbalizing it, and sharing that with someone. And that will help you co-regulate. And, really unburden yourself, because sometimes you isolate yourself, or you suffer in silence because you feel like you're a burden. I know that feeling. I've been there. You're not a burden. You deserve help. Everyone deserves help and support if they're struggling with their mental health. And that's what I try to promote on my channel. I think everyone's mental health matters. And it's not just men's mental health, it's everyone's mental health. Everyone's mental health matters. A very shocking statistic is still now the biggest killer of men 50 and under is suicide. And that needs to stop. Of course it does. That needs to change. We're losing too many good people to suicide because they feel so lonely and so isolated. They feel like that's the only way out. And unfortunately, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Um, you bad times don't last. The sun will shine. Um, even the darkest of nights have a sunrise. So just don't give up. Just don't give up. Just keep moving forward. Um, and if you're struggling with your mental health, please reach out and ask for help, because it's important that you get that support. It's important that you um, feel supported and heard and seen, and we can all challenge stigma and discrimination together. That's what I try to emphasise on the channel as well. It's very warm in the UK today. Um, Sorry guys, I was just checking an email, and I have got a couple of things going on the laptop at the moment. So if I'm checking the screen, it's just because I am doing some work on the laptop as well as being live. And I'll be live for the next hour or so, to talk about mental health with you guys. I'll be live for the next hour, and I'm here to answer questions, talk. Let's share mental health stories, mental health issues, and whatever you guys want to talk about. This is what these live Q&As are for. I really hope everyone out there is giving their mental health the right priority, the right attention that it needs, and of course I hope everyone is not suffering in silence. Please don't. Please reach out to someone and ask for help. This message is in review. Sorry guys, there's just an idiot in the chat. I think I'll just hide that comment. You absolute moron. You don't need comments like that. This is a live Q&A where we talk about mental health and recovery. So guy's an idiot, of course he's an idiot. You don't need comments like that in a live mental health Q&A, so that guy's gone. Look guys, I'm happy to answer questions, and I'm happy to have conversations about mental health and stuff like that, but please keep it respectful. Please understand that this is a safe space for people to come and talk about mental health and listen and talk and engage about mental health. If you want to be negative and nasty, just take that somewhere else. This isn't the live view. You'll be immediately blocked. This channel is about mental health. It's not about religion, it's not about news, it's not about politics. This is a mental health channel where we talk about mental health and mental well-being, depression, anxiety. My diagnosis, whatever your diagnosis is, I suffer with complex PTSD. I've tried to kill myself twice. I've done these things to me. I've done them. Me. So I've got my diagnosis, but I talk about it to help you. I talk about it to help others talk about their issues. I go live and I put myself out there to try and show people that there are people having these conversations. And that's important to me. That's important to me. Because the more people that are talking about mental health, the more people can share their story. I don't care if I'm live and I'm talking to one person, two people, or 10 people. If I can help one person that day feel a little bit less lonely, feel a little bit more seen and understood, then that's a win for me. I don't, I just want to help people. Look, I'm someone with my own diagnosis and going through my own, and I'm on my recovery journey. But it doesn't mean that I can't talk about mental health more broadly. I can't go into the specifics of the trauma, because that's between me and my counsellor, or traumas. There's multiple traumas in my case. That's between me and my counsellor. But what I can talk about more broadly is mental health in general, is mental health stigma, mental health discrimination. I can also talk about complex post-traumatic stress disorder, how that affects me personally, clinical depression, which I've been diagnosed with, ADHD, which I've been diagnosed with, and an anxiety disorder. So, I can talk about those things because I have lived experience of them. I'm going through my recovery journey right now, and I have been for the last 4 years. So all I'm trying to do is show people that you can talk about mental health, and you don't have to suffer in silence, because you shouldn't feel that alone when there's so many ways to connect to people across the world. And it's important that mental health conversations are had. And I'm not just on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, on TikTok as well, but YouTube is the only platform that I go live on, because it's what I know, and it's what I've been doing for the last 4 years. I've been making mental health videos to try and help raise awareness, to try and help support other people who might be going through similar situations, or different situations to me. But I've been doing that for the last 4 years now, and it's become my purpose. It's become what I want to do, which is why I host these live Q&As. I don't care if there's one person watching, no people watching, or 10 people watching. I'm live for that hour to be here for someone, just in case they need to talk, just in case they need to be heard, just in case they need to be seen. And if I can help one person every live that I do, I'm happy. I'm happy. My mental health channel is for everyone. Everyone's mental health matters on my channel. My mental health matters, your mental health matters, everyone's mental health matters on this channel. And it's important that I keep emphasizing that. It's inclusive of everyone. Everyone is welcome in my chat. Everyone is welcome in my community. I'm trying to foster and build a community of hope, support, friendship, and encouragement. And look, I openly talk about what I might have done to myself in the past, with all the self-harming, with the suicide attempts, with the diagnosis of PTSD and the nightmares, the flashbacks. I'm very open about my diagnosis. I talk about it because it helps me. These live Q&As are like an extension of a therapy session, because I can talk about it, and sometimes people interact and ask questions, and that's great. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes I don't get many viewers, but I've still gone live to try and help that one person every single day that I go live, and that's all I want to do. And that's all I want my channel to be, is a safe space for people to talk about mental health. I want people to think, oh, I'm feeling alone today. It's Wednesday. Pieces of a Broken Mind. They're going to be live. Let's join that. Let's join in that conversation. Mental health is massively important to me, and it should be important to you guys as well. Never forget, guys, your mental health is one of the most important things in the world. And you should never, ever, ever give up on yourself. I am here, guys, so if anyone has a question, please do get your questions in. Happy to answer those questions. I'm just doing a bit of work on the laptop as well. Um, Sorry, guys, I am here. So do get your questions in. I am doing a bit of another idiot in the chat. He will just be blocked. I haven't got time for the idiots. I'm hosting a live Q&A where we talk about mental health and recovery. So, um, jog on, you absolute moron. Um, Another idiot in the chat, guys. But I am here. I'm here to answer questions. This is a live Q&A. But I am also just got a few things going on the laptop as well. So if you see me looking away, it's because I've got a couple of things going on the laptop as well. But I am here, so if you have any questions, guys, please do get them in. This is a live Q&A, but I am doing I'm just doing some work on the laptop as well. But I am here to answer questions. This is a live Q&A where we talk about mental health and, of course, recovery. This is a live Q&A, by the way, where we talk about mental health and recovery, so please do get your questions in if you have any. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. It's only a few clicks for you guys, but it means so much to the channel and the growth of the channel. All I'm trying to do on this channel is raise awareness about mental health, raise awareness about stigma, raise awareness about discrimination, and try and help people move forward with their lives whilst learning to live alongside a mental health diagnosis. Because I've had my I know my diagnosis is really has really challenged me personally. So I go live to try and talk about it. That's all. And I hope people see that, because I am still here, guys. I have just got the laptop open as well, and I've just doing a few bits. while I'm waiting for some questions. This is a live Q&A where we talk about mental health and recovery, so please do get your questions in. Happy to answer those questions. I am here, guys, so if you have any questions, get in the live chat, drop your questions in. This is a live Q&A. If you see me looking away, it's because I'm just doing some work on the laptop as well, whilst I'm awaiting questions. Though if anyone out there does have a question, this is a live Q&A where I answer questions about mental health and talk about mental health. So if you're in the live chat, please do get your questions in. Happy to answer those questions. Please do get your questions in. Happy to answer those questions. This is a live Q&A where we talk about mental health and recovery, so please do get your questions in. If you see me looking away, it's because I've got the laptop going as well, and I am doing some work on the laptop with some videos for the channel. But I am live to have conversations about mental health, so get your questions in, and I'll happily answer those questions. Like I said, this is a live Q&A, so that's what I'm here for. So say hello, let me know where you're watching from, get your questions in. Sometimes you get some of these live Q&As where there's not much interactions, and sometimes you get really good interactions, and sometimes there's lots of people watching and lots of people have shared the live. I'm live because I want to talk about mental health with you guys, and I want to have that conversation with you guys, and I want to understand what you might be going through, and I'm happy to talk about what I'm going through and my diagnosis. So if you want to talk about mental health, or you have any thoughts, or you want to ask questions about my diagnosis, please do get in the chat, ask away. I'll answer as honestly as I can. And of course, I'm here to listen to you guys as well and talk to you guys about whatever you guys want to go through as well. This is a live Q&A, so please do get your questions in. If you see me looking away, I am doing some work on the laptop as well, both for my YouTube channel and my life coaching business. So but I am live for a live Q&A, so get your questions in, guys. I am here, guys. This is a live Q&A. So if you have any questions, please do get in the chat. Drop your question. Let me know where you're watching from, or if there's anything you guys want to talk about, please do get in the chat. I am here, and I'll be live for at least another half an hour. So please do get your questions in. I host these live Q&As twice a week. Once on a Wednesday evening, once on a Sunday evening, and I take questions and give my opinions, and we talk about mental health back and forth. So please do get your questions in, and I will try to answer those questions as honestly and as forthcoming as possible. But I have got the laptop open while I do some work for my channels and of course my life coaching business. But I am here, so I'm waiting for the question. These live Q&As work better when the people are asking questions and we have conversations. So please do, if you are watching, this is a live Q&A. I'm here to take questions about my mental health. I'm here to listen to you if you want to talk about your mental health, so please do that. This is a live Q&A, guys, so I'm awaiting your questions. I'm here to talk about mental health, stigma, discrimination, and anything else to do with mental health. So please do get your questions in. I'll happily answer those questions. So please do get your questions in. That's what I'm here for. It's a live Q&A. So fire it away, guys. I'll be live. I always go live for a minimum of 1 hour, and anything over the hour is always a bonus. So, if it's gone past a certain time, but there's more people coming into the chat and wanting conversation, then I'll stay. But obviously, I set myself a goal of going live twice a week for a minimum of 1 hour on a Wednesday evening and a Sunday evening to try and help people and raise awareness about mental health. And that's what I try to do every single day. This is a live Q&A though, so please do get your questions in. I am here, guys. I'm just doing some work on the laptop while I'm awaiting questions. So please do get your questions in. I'm here to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. This is a mental health live Q&A, so get your questions in. I'll be live for another 20 minutes, unless lots more people come to the live and questions start flowing. Like I said, I always do 1 hour every Wednesday, every Sunday evening. I am live to answer questions, to talk to you guys, to get to know you, to interact with you, and of course share my journey through mental illness, and hopefully hear your journeys through mental illness as well. So please do get your questions in. That's what I'm here for. That's what these live Q&As are designed for. the more questions, the more interactions, then the longer I'll stay live. But I go live for the minimum of 1 hour. If there's no one watching after an hour, or there's no questions coming in, then I'll finish, because I've always set myself a goal of every time I go live, it's minimum of 1 hour, and anything over that will always be a bonus. So, I'm live for 1 hour, unless there's more people joining the live, there's more people asking questions, there's more mental health conversations going on, and I'll stay live and have these conversations all night long. So please do get your questions in, and more questions, and the more people that watch the live, the longer these live Q&As go for. So share the live, share the channel, subscribe. Let's have healthy conversations about mental health together, and hopefully help and support other people as well. That's what these live Q&As are for. But whilst I'm awaiting questions, I am doing work on the laptop as well, so you'll see me looking back and forth. I am here, so if you have any questions, please do get them in. I am live. I am still here. I'm just waiting for any questions to come in. But as you can see, I am doing work on the laptop as well. Whilst I am awaiting any questions. I am still here, so if anyone wants to ask a question, get in the chat, let me know. These live Q&As are for questions. 6. I am live, guys. I am here. I just haven't had any questions or interactions, so I am doing some work on the laptop. I'll be live for another 10 minutes. Hopefully, you know, someone can uh, jump in and ask the question. I am here, guys. So this is a live Q&A, but I have had no questions, so I haven't been talking. But I'll be live for another 10 minutes or so to see if there is anyone joining the chat, or if there is anyone who wants to have that conversation.